Next we'll remove the oil pickup here. Now we know why this thing looks so cruddy whenever we first pull the pan off, because I've been sitting down after I drained the oil out. I've been sitting down in there. So what we're looking at is removing this bolt here for that bracket. There's a bracket right here. Taking these two bolts out, and that should drop right out. And once we get this removed out, we can clean it. Okay, that was removed. Let's see, we got a bolt, a nut. I believe I heard a washer dropped. I don't see it right now. Half-inch socket. What this requires, the other nut and bolt took a 7/16. Bolt lock washer, of course. Another bolt and washer, and it drops right out. Oh, should have brought me a rag here. Now, what I'll do next is get the old putty knife out and start cleaning out the old gasket here. So that's what I'll be for the next couple hours probably. Okay, here we are today, looking at the engine from the bottom up. It's a good time to get in here and check over your camshaft, see how the wear looks on the camshaft. Right now, everything's looking pretty good. So the next is take off a couple connecting rod caps and a couple end cap, crankshaft caps, and see what the bearings look like. Make sure everything looks nice and clean. Tell me I don't have to go anywhere else. I don't know if you can see this right now, but some oil dropped onto my light and it's smoking, which brings out a good point that was pointed out to me, that when under here working, always make sure you have a fire extinguisher handy. There's mine right there. And the other thing is, make sure you know how to use it too, because it doesn't do you good to have one if you don't know how to use it. So far, I've gotten the gasket almost all cleaned off. I want to go over it just one more time, clean off the rest, get all this oil cleaned off of it next. Will be my next step on that part, but for the time being, I'm going to take off this connecting rod cap and this one here and look at the bearings. And I haven't decided which of the main bearing caps I'm going to take off for the crank. So let's go on to the next step here. Okay, first thing we have to do is remove the cotter key. Easier said than done. Okay, I really don't want to bore you too much on removing the cotter pins. So I got 2 up there. You know, because everybody's removed cotter pins, you know, when you have a little trouble. Just grab a hold of them, pull. Once you get them, the main thing is getting them straight. So when you get them, they pull straight out, which is really nice when it works right. So we need a 5/8 inch socket up here. Okay. Well, as always, get the proper tool for the proper job. Got my socket and handle. This is, there we go. Loosen that one up a little bit. Let's get on here. There we go. Oh, boy. Yep. At least I can say we're on nice and tight. It's supposed to be about 58 foot-pounds. That one's nice and loose. And that one's nice and loose. There we go. I thought I was going to come done here, but oil stick keeps. Oh yeah, probably should just pulled it up earlier. There we go. There's one nut off. Let me get back my hand here. Okay, now both nuts are off. Okay, here we are. We're going to get the end cap off. Try, here's, do a little tapping. Let's see if it'll come off. I think it, yeah, it did come, looks like it did come loose a little bit. A little bit of a gap there. Let's see if I can get my, oh, it's looking, okay, let's see. I'm going to tap on the bolts. There! Oh, okay, it's off. And a good inspection of that. That looks good. Looks good. No real wear. I've seen bearings where there's been shiny places on them. usually a good example of where the bearing had spun. So it looks like it's in good shape then. So that's good to know. So I'm going to put this back on the way it came off. Be very satisfied with it. So let me go ahead and just go ahead and put the nuts back on. Okay, I did have a little trouble getting this bolt here back down, but it finally, I put my pry bar back behind the bolt back here and held it down while I tapped on it on the bottom here, and it pushed it back through. So now I'm ready to snug everything back down. A lot more. Let's see, since I got a lot more thread here than I do here, my bolt must not be setting right. Yep. Must have turned a little bit, so I'll need to loosen that back up. Let me just make sure, loosen them both back up a little bit. Okay, it seems like when somebody else always does this, it always works and comes off so much easier. But I think I finally got it here where it's coming. Just work a little bit back and forth there. There we go. I just want to take a quick look here. That looks good. A little rub there, but not bad at all. The shaft doesn't look too bad either. I really don't want to contaminate it, so I'll put it back together right now since I've viewed it, looked at it. Plus, this makes it very nice when you record like this, because then you got a history of this to look at later. But there we go. I don't know why at times stuff seems to go back together easier than it comes apart. I put one nut on here to help hold that in place. There we go. Okay, this time I got smart. I got me a nail and stuck in there, and I pulled it and worked it until I got in the correct slot. So that works a lot better. I can put that nut back on there. Once I get that on there, I'll do the same to the other side. There's that one. And that one. That's the way I like to do it. I just like to snug them up a little bit, and then I get busy with the torque wrench.